Kitco News special coverage of Paris Blockchain Week Summit is brought to you by Okra, permissioned DeFi composable index and strategy execution platform.
We're now talking about huge expansions in the crypto retail lending area with Antoni Trenchev. He is the co-founder and managing partner at Nexo. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Long-time fan of the show.
Oh, thank you very much, Antoni. Look, big news coming out of the company here, the Paris Blockchain Summit. I've always wondered, when am I going to get a crypto credit card? And that's happening now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as you sign up for Nexo and order your card, you're good to go.
Okay, well, what is going on here? You have a partnership with MasterCard.
We have a partnership with MasterCard. They were also very vocal about it. They're getting excited about the blockchain space, which we are happy to oblige. We developed a credit card that is a world's first. It hasn't been anything like this, and it took a while to develop it because it was a first for MasterCard as well. So there are some crypto cards out there that allow you to spend your crypto. So your Bitcoin, you go for a purchase into a store. Essentially what happens is your Bitcoin gets exchanged for a fiat currency and you then pay as you would with your normal debit card. Now enter Nexo, and our new product with MasterCard is completely different. It gives you the way, a way of keep on holding your crypto and spending its value that's locked up in the crypto at the same time. So essentially when you go to that Starbucks and you buy that €8 latte, what happens is you take out the loan against your crypto holdings, which is tax efficient, by the way. Super nice if you're somewhere in the States where if you sell your crypto at profit, you got to pay 40%. So now it's not even $8, but 40% more expensive. We solve that problem by essentially allowing you to take out a loan with the ease of swiping a card.
But why do I need to collateralize my Bitcoin? If I have a traditional financial credit card, they don't require me to collateralize my deposit. Right? In theory, I could have a credit card balance larger than my bank deposit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But then you go into the whole thing of credit scoring, credit checks, and depending on which part of the world that might be problematic. Good luck convincing JP Morgan Chase or Citibank or Bank of America give somebody in Southeast Asia a credit card, right? With us, as soon as we know who you are as a customer, do some basic KYC on you, and you have the collateral, we give you the means to tap into your crypto wealth without selling it. It's about inclusion. It's about being what ultimately crypto is all about.
Okay, so what are the advantages of then using this credit card? If I already have, let's say, $100,000 worth of Bitcoin with your bank, with your institution, why don't I just use that Bitcoin? What's the added value of leveraging myself?
Sure. Let me give you an example. Brock Pierce, everybody in the crypto knows Brock Pierce, child actor, Mighty Ducks. Like, he took out a loan. Well, admittedly, it wasn't through the card, but he took out a loan to buy a flat in Amsterdam. Back then, Bitcoin was trading around $3,000. Flat cost 1.5 million. He financed it. And guess what? Bitcoin is today at 40,000. So he kept the upside potential of his crypto. Otherwise, he would have sold the Bitcoin for 1.5 million. He would be out of pocket 15 million right now. So it is for people who believe in the long-term potential of crypto. They want to, tap into the liquidity that they have and keep on holding their Bitcoin. That's the beauty of it.
Okay. Which jurisdictions can I use this credit card?
Right now, it's for Europe, the EU plus the larger areas around Europe. Unluckily, Russia has been excluded by MasterCard for, I think, obvious reasons. But Europe right now, we're working on the same thing in the US with a provider there. Should come in the next few months, and we're also working on Southeast Asia. The thing is that with the credit card providers such as MasterCard and Visa, they have individual breakdowns of the world as they see it, and you have to tackle different programs to conquer the different parts of the world.
Okay, so the vendor, where I go to, Starbucks, Walmart, doesn't matter what store, a restaurant here, they don't really care that the MasterCard is backed with cryptocurrency.
No, they don't. Like everywhere.
It works with any service provider.
Everywhere where MasterCard is accepted, you can use it. Wow. Everything happens on the back end in real time, which again is the world's first, and it's 92 million merchants right now that you can use the card.
And what's the interest rate on these on this lending?
It depends on what tier you are, whether you base, silver, gold, or platinum, it can go as low as $5.99 per year, the interest rate. So nothing like the credit cards you are used to in America, where interest rate is up to 40%.
20 or 40,
It can go up to 40. And with us, the max you can pay is 12% a
So
year.
what's the max? What's the max
12%,
interest rate?
12% per year.
Why so
nothing
low?
Price. Because we can make money on various different ways, servicing our clients, and it makes economic sense, and we still make money with that. We don't feel we have to charge more.
When I deposit Bitcoins with Nexo, do I generate a yield?
You generate a yield for the balance that is not used as collateral. So you deposit, you start earning interest immediately. Now, if you take out a loan, let's say you deposit, I don't know, 10 Bitcoin, right? You take out a loan and 5 Bitcoin get locked up as collateral, you still earn on the other ones that are not used, in other words, the other 5.
So the 5 Bitcoin that's collateral, does that mean my credit card max limit is 5 Bitcoin?
If you deposit 10 Bitcoin, your max limit is 5 Bitcoin.
Okay.
But you start paying interest on whatever you spend. Right. So just securing the credit line doesn't come with any cost.
So it's only 50% of the collateral.
Yeah, exactly.
What if I choose to withdraw the other 5 Bitcoin? What happens to my credit card?
Well, it will not allow you to. Well, it depends. If you have used your credit line, have spent those 5 Bitcoin, it wouldn't allow you to withdraw it because we have to have this loan to value ratio of 50%.
Yeah.
But if you haven't done anything, you can withdraw it.
If my balance is 0, I can withdraw it.
Of course.
Okay.
It's yours. Right. It only gets locked up as collateral of what you have actually spent.
Is there a lockup period, or just as long as there's
as long as there's the credit line? When it's flexible, there are no fixed payments monthly. As long as the loan to value ratio is around 50%, or Bitcoin ideally keeps on rising, you don't have to do anything.
It's an interesting model. How did you come up with this idea?
It was something that we wanted to see as users, and I think like the best products are developed out of the need that you see, and you're saying, what would be a cool product that I would like to use? Yeah. And then it turns out that other people are thinking the same, and these are the best products get developed.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if the lower interest rate will incentivize more people to buy Bitcoin and then use your service, because I don't want to have to pay 20-40% interest rate on my credit card in the US with whatever bank I'm with. I want to pay 12% or 10%.
Right. I mean, I think it addresses different niches of the market. There's always going to be people skeptical of crypto and saying, oh, I don't want the exposure to Bitcoin volatility. Bitcoin volatility is not for the faint-hearted. Yeah. It can go up 10-20% in either direction in a day. So there will always be people who say, I don't want that. But then for people who, and luckily for us, an increasing number of people are coming around to realize that Bitcoin is here to stay. Yeah. It's a great asset. It has outperformed significantly just about any other asset class the past 10 years. And to me, chances are it's going to continue to do so. For them, this is a perfect solution. And I do hope that more people would get drawn into the place. We briefly talked about mass adoption. Before we turn on the camera, I think this is how ultimately it will come, when we give the large masses the tools that they are accustomed from the traditional world. So they don't want to come and have to figure out how to use a MetaMask or the VPN to secure things. This is too complicated for large-scale adoption. But as soon as you give them a MasterCard, something that you're used to using in your previous life, then it gets easier to convert people.
Is there a minimum balance I need to deposit before I can use your credit card? No. So if I have 0.1 Bitcoin, that's insufficient?
Yeah, that's still fine.
Okay. I wonder what is the yield I generate if I deposit with you?
It depends on the asset class. For stable coins, it's around 12%. Again, depending on the tiers that you happen to be in as a client. We have every now and then promotions, like something we did with Terra, then on the UST, their stable coin, it was up to 20% for a period of time. There are always high yield possibilities, but for the major rounds, crypto natives, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, etc., it's around 8%. And
I imagine it has to be lower than the credit card interest rate. Otherwise, how are you generating money?
Well, that's a very good question. The assets from the earn product, they get utilized in different strategies. Obviously, if you're giving me money and you expect an interest on that, we got to put it to work. It's no mystery, exactly. Right? So they're different revenue streams, and that's why the interest rates they are.
What if I say, Anthony, can I deposit $10,000 worth of USDT, earn a 12% APY, collateralize half of that, and then use a credit card, and the credit card interest rate is 12%.
Yeah, well, you got to think about the loan to value ratios.
Can I do that?
You can't do that. Unfortunately, you can't have it both ways. It's both an earning asset as a collateral.
So I cannot collateralize my earn product.
Yeah,
okay.
Unfortunately,
I was thinking of loopholes. It didn't work.
No, otherwise you'll be thinking these guys are idiots. I don't want to give them my money, right?
No. I would think this is a great deal. I would definitely bank with you. All right, let's talk about institutional adoption. Well, actually, just mass adoption in general. You have several geographical segments, right? You mentioned to me offline. I think Europe is 20 to 25% of your customer base. North America, 30%. What is the demographic or geographic breakdown that you think is going to expand the most? In other words, which area in the world and which group of people do you think will likely adopt cryptos the fastest?
Oh, that's a tricky question. It will either be the unbanked that are coming to crypto, much like El Salvador. They had this all-in-one solution rushing through the gates. Everybody there has a crypto wallet, and I can very well imagine other countries following suit where remittances is a big part of the economy, and money has to move around, and a lot of people that are underbanked. Or the quickest would be the most advanced countries, companies from the S&P 500, like Tesla and MicroStrategy, what they did. I am absolutely certain that the treasuries of a lot of the companies are full with Bitcoin. They haven't just been as vocal as some of the other guys. So it's either going to be in the ultra-developed parts of the world or the heavily underdeveloped, but I can't know which one will get there first.
And your clients, can you comment on the type of clients you have? Is it the Teslas with their treasuries, or is it the retail person with, I just want 2 of my Bitcoins in your bank, or is it the institutional investor? Who's your client here?
We have 3.7 million registered users, so it's all of the above. We have institutions, we have hedge funds, we have well-known companies, both native and non-native to the space, utilizing the different products of Nexo, and we also have the everyday holders, people who were early on Bitcoin, who have put in a tiny allocation, people who are now sitting on vast.
I'm curious, you have 12 billion AUM. Yeah. How much of that percentage breakdown is accounts of whales, like greater than 10,000 Bitcoins, versus accounts that are relatively small?
Yeah, I don't have an exact breakdown on top of my head, but we do have some serious whales. And I remember this one client, he participated in the ICO of Ethereum. It was 2014, and he put in $1 million back then. So you can imagine the amount of wealth that he's sitting on. And I checked out his wallet, where it was early days. I knew almost all the clients back then by name, and it's the wallet where he received his Ethereum from the Ether from their token sale. It had only one transaction going into Nexo. It was a curious thing, and there are triple-digit millions sitting there, just mind-boggling. It takes some balls to invest $1 million in Ether in 2014, so he earned it. But we do have whales. I don't have an exact breakdown in terms of proportions, though.
Now you are, another piece of news, you are acquiring a U.S. bank.
A minority stake in a U.S. bank. I know you wanted to make the news sound bigger than it is, as is your job, of course.
I'm also going to ask you another question you probably can't answer. Which U.S. bank is this?
I cannot disclose this, so we're bound by the confidentiality.
I understand. I have to do my job and at least try to ask you.
Yeah, but we're very excited about that.
It's a traditional CeFi bank, right?
It's a traditional federally chartered bank that we are acquiring a stake in, and this is very exciting because it will be solving, hopefully, some of the regulatory challenges that are emerging in the United States. And yeah, we're really excited about that.
I'm curious as to why you're interested in even having a stake in a bank.
Well, it's like the death of the banks. The rumors of the death of the banks have been largely exaggerated. It's revolutions don't happen so quickly as everybody would.
No, everybody still has a bank account.
Everybody still has a bank account, and will have in the foreseeable future. So we think this will open up a lot of possibilities to restructure some of the products that we have in place, and now that some clarity is emerging in terms of regulatory guidance, particularly in the US, that will allow us to restructure the products so that we can continue providing them in the United States in a sustainable way.
I would have thought it was the other way around. You would see a lot of big banks, JP Morgan's, Bank of America's, TD's, whatever, acquiring crypto banks or lenders like yourself because they want to add that to their portfolio. It's probably easier and less costly for them to acquire your company than it is to build their own infrastructure, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of startups in the crypto space hoping for exactly that, being acquired by banks. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it has to do with the mandates and the state of mind, and also a little bit how banks feel threatened about the space, and they think, okay, we have all the quants here doing the trading desk. We have all these great minds. Maybe we can build what these guys in hoodies have been building.
Was that your sort of motivation when you first started Nexo? Your exit strategy was acquisition from a bank. Was that what you had in mind?
No, really. We were not very focused on an exit strategy when we started out. We wanted to develop products and services that we as customers, as crypto enthusiasts, wanted to see out there and we didn't see. And we say, what's a great product? And yeah, then we got a bunch of people, us, thinking about what a great product would look like. And that's how we developed Nexo. Actually, the very early idea of Nexo is my co-founders, and he figured it out in 2014, 2015. It was way too early to implement. So I think the best products are the ones that you would like to see develop, and it's a great roadmap to developing stuff. What you as a user would think is great.
How can people invest in your company? Not just deposit, but invest in your company.
Well, we have the Nexo token. It has, I don't know, I think it's in the top 70 on CoinMarketCap right now. Changes by
when
the
are
day.
you IPOing?
I don't think we'll be IPOing, but
you don't think so?
No, we would potentially be interested in public listings, but via some of the other rounds, whether it's direct listing or a SPAC, this is something that we might consider further down the line. But right now, the company is 100% owned by us, the co-founders, and it's great because it gives us the freedom to keep on executing without having quote-unquote adult supervision. So it's a blessing and a curse, and we have been profitable almost since day one, really, and no need or rush to cash in the chips.
So Antoni, you're not the only crypto lender and bank on the street. How do you plan to stay competitive?
Well, I think what people like about us is our transparency, the fact that we have been around almost 5 years now, which tells you something about credibility, sustainability of the business model, and that we more or less know what we're doing. So people appreciate that. We try to be open about our revenue streams, how we generate the money. We did something that Kraken later copied, but we were the first ones to do it. We did a real-time attestation of our reserves, so with Armanino, which is a top 20 US accounting firm, and you can see in real time that our assets exceed our liabilities by more than 100% all of the time. And it's just these tiny little things that build up day in, day out in terms of trust from the community that ultimately are the best differentiator between us and everybody else.
Antoni, fantastic news coming out of your company. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Best of luck with your growth and your future projects.
We should do this sometime again.
Again, absolutely. Thank you for watching Kitco News. I'm David Lin.
Kitco News special coverage of Paris Blockchain Week Summit is brought to you by Okra, permissioned DeFi composable index and strategy execution platform.